This tip is about saving up your Rocketeers, Yuri disc, Soviet sea choppers when they stick together. You see now from the demonstration, you see one of the Rocketeers, they stop, and the rest of the Rocketeers, they run away and they saved. How you can try this trick is very simple and very useful. When they group together, as you can see from the demonstration, and they run up by moving anti-air. Most of the time IFV and flak track, and most of the time flak track. When they run up in front of it, most of the time your enemies, he try to use control shift to kill them or hit them as much as possible, because he cannot follow it and click where it's going, he cannot directly click it on the mouse. So what he tried to do, he just tried to use control shift. With the flak track, we're gonna follow these Rocketeers and try to kill them. It's very simple and easy tactics the enemy can use it. So what are you trying to do to avoid this mess and avoid this flak track? Hit your grouped up unit, because not all the time you're followed by one flak track, you're gonna follow by many flak track at the same time. When your Rocketeers get followed up, that flak track, use control shift. What are you trying to do? Click on one of your units, use S, stop it. It's just simple, just like that. So one of these units that you select, we're gonna stop. So it's gonna be stop there, and the flak track gonna attack it. The rest of your Rocketeers are gonna move away and get saved. So this flak track, we're gonna only attack this closed up units because they use control shift. Control shift is only attacking the unit that closest to that flak track, not the unit is way far from that flak track. So it's really is an amazing way to avoid this mess, because sometimes you have only Rocketeers left and just one flak track can kill them all if they grouped up together. So this tip is about sacrificing all your planes if you lost your radar. Basically what's happening is your planes were gonna have no other choice to do one thing: attack them or die. So basically use an alt. I show it in another video. You can watch it later, and I'm gonna show it on the screen. What are you trying to do in this case? You're trying to do the opposite of it. You try to attack your enemies' factories, the important factories like an MCV, super weapons. So if you lost your radar and only you have planes with no bullets with them, and eventually they're gonna die. So what are you trying to do in this trick? You stick the plane on that factory, use an alt. After that plane is stick on your enemy's factory, you basically hit click left on your mouse on that factory, and basically the planes are gonna fall down on that factory and they're gonna destroy it. Simple, just like that. And you see 4 planes, they enough to destroy an MCV. Believe me, use it when you have no other choice. So this tip is about sailing up your planes. Some people, they say, what? Sailing up planes? Yes, you can do it. It's a common glitch. A lot of pros, they use it. What are you trying to do is do the same trick as I did in the last one I told you about it. Is basically use an alt and stick up on any factories, not only the MCV. You try to put it above the factory, use an alt. After this, you build a wall, any wall from any team. It will be Ally, Soviet, Yuri, all of them work with it. You build that wall, as you can see on the screen, put it on the place where the plane is flied on. After this, I sell it, and you can see there's a small adjustment where the place, and I will hit sell. See, there is a small bar on top of the plane. That means it's sell, the plane will not sell the wall. Same way I do it in the screen. You try to practice with it and you're gonna use for it and you're gonna sell it, and believe me, it's very effective, and you're gonna return full amount of money of plane. It's very effective, and believe me, use it a lot. A lot of pros, they use it, especially if they don't need the plane anymore. Basically risking gambling, losing planes for basically use it for nothing. So I always try to sell it if I don't need it. At the beginning of the game, you need your planes, but after this, nah, if you build a lot of anti-air, it's not useful anymore. So this tip is about using your SEAL, your NG, and your spy to spy NG and kill your enemy's factories directly when it came out from that IFV. So I'm gonna demonstrate from the SEAL now. You see, I run away the SEAL, and then I left click mouse on that IFV, Z, and then left click on that factory. You see now when the SEAL kinda came out from that IFV, it's gonna go directly to that factory. You see, it's very simple trick. But you see now I'm gonna demonstrate it again, but this time using Z first, left click mouse on that IFV, then I'm gonna click left on that factory, and you see nothing gonna happening. It's never gonna happen. I cannot point that SEAL on that factory. So what is happening is when that SEAL gonna came out from that IFV, it's not gonna go to that factory directly. So I'm gonna demonstrate every idea now with spy. As you can see from this demonstration, the back of the IFV is the most important part of all this process. I'm gonna show you where the back of the IFV is gonna be wrong. The back of the IFV is not aligned with the factory. You see now, I align it correctly. You see the back. So when the spy gonna came out, it's gonna came out in a straight line and it's gonna be very close to the factory. So again, a small walk for him. So you see now, I'm gonna try to demonstrate it again now, but now using Z. You see, it's very simple trick to use it, but a lot of people they don't know how to use it. So you see now, I spy it when I'm very close to that factory. Now I spy it when I am very far away from the factory, because you can spy it basically from any angle, but you must know how to do it exactly. So I'm gonna make my IFV go 2 blocks. So when my spy, when I'm gonna go out, gonna go a straight line. We're not gonna go on a side, because it's happening a lot with a lot of pros that make IFV go very close to that factory. So you see, it's very effective. You can do it from almost any angle if you want to do it. It's very effective. So you see now, I'm gonna spy it from different angle. I'm gonna do the same exact idea, but now using Z. So you see now, I'm gonna spy the war factory. So you see how I'm gonna spy the war factory. It's exactly the same principles. So I'm gonna spy close to the factory using Z. I want my spies to be as close as possible and run as less as possible to reach that factory. So you see now, I'm gonna spy it at front. Is exactly the same tactic I use it with the infantry factories. You see now, and 2 blocks away from that factory. Simple and easy. So I'm gonna spy it from different angle now. So I'm doing exactly the same tactic. You can try to use it as close as possible, but for me, I want the back of the IFV to be as direct as possible to that factory. So you try to practice as much as possible. So you see, these areas, they're not easy to see by your enemies. So you try always to reach these areas. It's not easy to see by your enemy. As you can see as a viewer, you can see it. It's very hard to see it, but as you can see from the right of the factory, it's very clear to see it. So try always to spy it at the back as much as possible, but if there's a lot of defenses, don't do it. This is another way how you can spy. So you see the NG now, I'm gonna NG this MCV basically from the back where he cannot see. So you see now, I'm gonna demonstrate in a very fast way how you're gonna spy. If you see from this one click, I'm gonna turn back my IFV after the stop using D, and the spy gonna go out. It's very effective. This is another trick how a lot of pro players they use it. So this is a bunch of seal destroying. What you're trying to do is to do the same thing, but now not only one factory, you multiply many factories at the same time from the place where he not easily can see it. And now I'm gonna show you how can you chronosphere your IFV to your enemy's base. So what I'm gonna trying to do is basically turn out my IFV on the opposite side. So when the spy gonna came out after the chronosphere, it gonna came in a straight line. You see on the video, because you can chrono the IFV in the exact same place, where exact position that you really like. This trick, a lot of pro player they use it. And the same thing you can use for your IC. You make your flak track will be very close to that factory, and basically, you know, you IC it and make your flak track running in the same exact way. So your unit gonna came out and then gonna, you know, NG it, whatever units you have at that time inside that flak track. Is the same thing apply to the flak track. So what I'm trying to do is now is double hit at the same time by 2 IFVs. You can try 3, 4, 5, whatever you try to use. So what you're trying to do is first I'm gonna seal this factories and I'm gonna NG the other factory. So I align it correct. The back of this IFV, the NG IFV, we're gonna go to the war factory because I already selected, and the seal are gonna be on the opposite side, so I'm gonna be in the exact same places that I want. So I'm gonna chrono it. It's carried in the exact same place. D, that's it. Each one they go for each direction. It's very simple and easy tactic. Always think less distance. So this tip is about sailing up any unit by your war factory. So how you're trying to do is building up a wall on where I put it exactly is on the bottom right of that factory. The same thing for the Ally factory in the Soviet factory. So now I'm gonna move my miner in that place. You see where I put it on the screen. Then I'm gonna try to cross it and using S to stop it. You see now is a stop on the factory. So after this I try to sell it. You see now, if I closely see, hey, I can sell it. And voila, I sell it. It's very simple to do it. You can sell everything, any unit you don't use, any unit in this trick. So I do the same thing, same demonstration, try to cross it, S, you see on stop on the factory. You see it's very simple. It's not that hard. You see on that space between the factory and the wall, and then you try to cross it, the same that cross the MCV now. I stop it, now it's stopped on the factory, sell it again. Now, and sell. It's very simple. So this tip is about saving up your MCV when there's a lot of planes they come out. So after a second where their planes are gonna attack your MCV, unpack your MCV and moving on the opposite direction. So you see the bullets gonna behind the MCV and never gonna touch it. So you see now, I'm gonna do it now is a little bit late. So you see now, they hit and then I unpacked. So is hit all my MCV so bad. You see now it's become red blood. So I do it now a little bit earlier than actually happened. You see I unpacked it first. You see I destroyed my MCV. So I try now from different angle. You see now the plane came out from the top right. The MCV I pull it on the left. Not pull my MCV from the southwest. Always should be in the opposite way of planes. So you see now is from different angle I try to do it and it's working exactly the same. So this tip is about using your allies for everything you want. Donating everything and spying everything. If, for example, you are allies and he is Soviet, you can spy him, you can use his factories. Is very simple trick. So you see now I cannot spy him. In CNCNET, I affected one of these options we call in-game allying. So you see now from this menu, you see there's a red dot. He's my ally now. So I unplug it so it became dark, it became gray. So he's not my ally anymore. So you see now, you see it, when you say he's your ally, you cannot spy him. You see I cannot spy his factories. So when I not his ally anymore, so I can spy him very simply. You see now I can enter my spy inside, but at the same time he can attack your unit, so you try to make your unit far away from him. I see now I can spy his infantry factories again, all these elite units. It's very simple and very easy. Same time for the war factory, I do exactly the same thing because he's not my ally anymore. I told you I'm not similar team with him now anymore. I'm not allied with him, so I can spy him. I can get the seal exactly the same way I spy his battle lab. I can spy him and get the seal. It's very important and very easy. At the same time I can get from him the nuclear power from him and I get all my power back. You see, it's very simple and very donation relationship. It's very good to use it. And at the same time he's Soviet, he cannot have a spy satellite, so I give one for him for free. It's exactly the same thing. He can get from you and you can get from him. It's an amazing thing. You use it when you play with an ally. It's very effective, and at the same time you can give him an MCV. You see now I can use and I can get Soviet MCV. You see now it's very simple. I can get his MCV. You see all the factories, I got it. Everything work. Every factory you need, whatever that factory it is from refineries, from any factories you try to get from him, you can get from him as long as this option is checked.